3MJ, back with you with another vlog. First things first, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. Um, this is definitely going to be a shorter vlog tonight, not a whole lot to talk about. Um, Today, November 26th, is the 23rd anniversary of Michael Jackson's Dangerous album. And this is obviously one of those albums where it is considered one of the best-selling albums of all time. It's only sold nothing close to Thriller. I think maybe only 30 million copies. So it's kind of around the same as bad. And also in 2 years, there's going to be Dangerous 25. Basically, what that is, if you remember Thriller 25 and Bad 25, well, in 2016, that will be the 25th anniversary, so we'll have another album, hopefully Unheard Songs. So, I'm looking forward to that. So that's basically with Michael. There's a lot of Glee stuff actually going on. You know, the final season's coming up. Honestly, I'm heartbroken because it is my favorite show, and I feel as long as I've been watching it, I always feel like I can relate to a lot of different situations that the characters have to deal with on the show, whatever they talk about. It hurts that it's going to be the last season, that I'm not going to get to see these characters anymore. But Glee's moving to Fridays. It comes back January 9th with a 2-hour season premiere and a 2-hour series finale on March 20th. So that's just, it's great news. Basically, my true opinion on Glee, you know, it's definitely not the same without Corey Monteith, who played Finn. Because he was my favorite character on the show. And Season 4, at least so far, I don't know how Season 6 is going to be, but Season 4 so far is my favorite season. My favorite episode was the quarterback from Season 5, but the season wasn't as good as it could have been if Corey was still alive. I heard that if he were still alive, the Season 5 premiere was supposed to have this big storyline for him, and I was really curious what that would have been. And I think to get closure for Finn's character, I really think they need to reveal his death somehow in the season. Like, we obviously know how Corey died, but whether they have Finn have that same death, maybe from losing Rachel or whatever. The point is, I think to give closure to that character, we don't want people to keep making up how he might have died. It's an important thing, you know. For the 7 million people in the United States that watched the quarterback, we all know that, you know, his death was left a total mystery, and that Finn needs closure. He was a huge character on that show, and I really think it's important that somehow they'll somehow reveal his death. I'm really hoping Season 6 isn't a disappointment, and from what I've read, spoiler-wise, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. I'm really happy a lot of the main characters are coming back. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to January. And I saw the new poster, and wow, I have to admit, it's very surreal seeing the auditorium in the background. You get the famous loser sign, and then you see the final season, and that's just, it's something, of course, everyone expects to see from a TV show, but it could have gone longer if Corey hadn't died. People were saying, even people who worked on Glee, that it could have even gone up to 8 seasons. And I would have liked to see that. Because that's the kind of show where they'll keep doing modern music, and there's millions of songs, you know, and there are so many they can do. They just filmed their 700th musical number. And, you know, it'd be awesome if they could have reached 1,000. Like, that just would have been cool. You know, they probably could have broken a record for that. But yeah, that's basically with Glee. Now also this whole Michael Brown thing in Ferguson. Now everyone knows, that Darren Wilson, the cop that killed Michael Brown, won't get indicted. I don't know enough of the story to comment on that, but basically, I'm kind of mixed. From what I heard, Michael Brown charged at him. from what I hear, Darren Wilson killed him. Michael Brown hadn't done anything. I've heard so many different stories about this. I don't really know what to believe. There's supposedly surveillance of Michael Brown robbing a convenience store, which is partially how he got killed. But from what people notice, that you could clearly see the clerk taking money from him. So honestly, I don't really know what to believe. And I think it's just really sad what's going on in Ferguson right now, because the other night, I was watching it on TV. I was probably up to 11 watching just that on TV. And it was basically like watching a freaking war zone. You could see cops throwing tear gas. You could like hear explosions. You saw the police car on fire. You heard them talking about people getting killed or beaten or whatever. You could see some of the news reporters choking because of the tear gas, because it was right next to them. It was so shocking. And then you see people smashing through businesses and stealing stuff, and it's crazy. But then you almost wonder, they're fighting for like equal rights, right? But then it's like when they break into these businesses, aren't they kind of hurting themselves in a way? They're kind of attacking their own race by doing that. I mean, I'm just saying. Ferguson is known to mostly be a primarily black neighborhood, just like Gary, Indiana. And certain parts of Chicago. But I don't know if the reason Michael Brown got killed was even part of race, because you have to remember something. While the neighborhood is primarily black, the police department is mostly white. So I don't really see how racism can kind of fall into that. So channel news. I'm hopefully bringing back those lyric videos. I know I took them down. There was an error with one of the videos I was making. I never even got to finish putting up the first Jackson 5 album. It was like the 10th song. I was having an error getting everything in order. So I'm hoping to somehow bring those back. And then again, I'm really hoping you guys can somehow participate in a Q&A. Just send me some questions and I'll answer them as best as I can. Happy Thanksgiving, and have a great Black Friday.